even though my desk is messy right now. I usually move everything out of the way before I start streaming, but here we are. Okay, I'm gonna grab some clay, I think. Oh, I don't know if it's dry though. I think I just broke something, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I have a giant bag of clay now. And I'm going to... Wrong way. I think I can unplug this. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. It faces one direction, so when you move it... I'm talking about this new tripod I got. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm moving it all around and it just stays focusing on the one thing. That's crazy. Okay. Although it's reverse what you think it would be for the controls, which is why I'm struggling right now. Okay. Hello, Twitch and YouTube, actually. I'm live on YouTube as well. So I was going to make or work on the bee yarn art, but I decided I'm going to do some clay too, or instead. I have this little fairy house that I have made. I don't know if you can see it. Oh my gosh. It's hard to show you on that. I need to change that light. But I think I want to make another fairy house. That sounds like fun. Will I finish it today? Probably not. Will I enjoy myself? Definitely. So I have my air dry clay. I would do real clay, but I have not figured out the logistics of firing it and being able to put a tea light inside without ruining it. Sorry, that's probably really loud. Oh my gosh, I think there were spiders in here. I'm concerned now. I think there was something in here. Anyway, so this is my air dry clay, and I recently got it wet again. I had to spray it all down inside. So it's a little bit like extra squishy in certain areas. Oh, I almost forgot my board. My board that is covered with, oh my gosh. Well, I guess I'm gonna show you guys my other creations, because I have stuff in here. Ooh, there's red mold in this. My favorite. That's the good stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh, I guess I could use this. I almost dropped a bunch of stuff. Well, I guess I'll show you guys this stuff while I'm at it. It has been a while since I've made clay stuff. Okay. All right. I did not think I was getting out all my clay stuff right now, but here we are. So I have another air dry clay thing. You know, I thought air dry clay was not strong at all, but it's actually pretty strong when it's just air dry. How does this go together? But the difference is that air dry clay can't get as strong as regular clay when it's fired. Oh my gosh, look at this. There's like red mold in this cup. Can't see it very well. Yum! That's good stuff. I could also paint that. Okay, so the thing that's under this little tarp here, ooh, dry clay. I'm just gonna, yeah, that's gonna be really hard. I'm just gonna toss that. So the thing in here is actually really cool. And it's not finished. Oh, and that got rusty. But I don't think I can finish it. That's the problem. But it's super cool. I don't know if you can recognize, that's upside down for you guys. I don't know if you can recognize what it is exactly, but this is a hobbit hole, an unfinished hobbit hole that I was actually even going to make the inside of. I mean, it looks pretty dang good, even though I didn't finish it. Maybe I should paint it and give it to my husband at the very least. It's pretty cool. Genuinely, I really like it. But I did not finish it, so I'm going to save this plastic wrap. Like, okay, so this piece here broke. It's air dry clay. And it breaks, but it doesn't break the same way as regular clay. So I really do think that it is stronger when it's just air dry compared to real clay any other time. That doesn't make any sense. The question is, can I rehydrate it? I don't think so, but I might experiment with that. Kitty, stop. Hey, what are you doing? She found a piece of leather to chew on. Oh well, that's fine. So I'm not going to use this board because this board honestly gives me splinters and I don't want to do that right now. I'm going to save this plastic wrap to wrap stuff up though. I have a few real clay projects over here as well. Actually, I have no idea. Okay, a really bad coil pot with some mold growing on it. Like, genuinely, this is really bad. I should just break it and rehydrate it. Then we have a pumpkin almost mug. And I say pumpkin almost mug because there's no handle on it. And then we have something covered up, which is kind of scary because real clay molds. And we have a broken face. The idea for this was that I was going to make it into a planter. So I was going to like put it on a metal like skewer above here, and then I wanted to make it so that vines grew down. I think I could still do that. I just haven't figured out how to make it float. So, this face. So I'll just leave this for now. Oh, I think this was a fairy house in this other container here, but let me move this one, get it out of the way. I will make art, I promise. I guess I should change my titles though. So I've been doing a lot of miniatures and stuff. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna just leave it. It's fine. Anyway, I've been making a lot of miniatures of stuff. I've kind of always done that. I like mini things. I think they're super cool. But I don't want to do that again today. Even though I was really enjoying it. Okay, I'm really scared to open this. I feel like it's gonna be completely molded. Let's zoom in, shall we? Exciting stuff. That's one thing that's different about the air dry clay I've noticed. It does not mold. Oh, okay. It is not moldy. It's very furry looking because of the texture. Oh, no, it is moldy. It's just not that bad. I don't know how I feel about this one. But I was doing it in a way so that it would potentially shine light through. And it has a tea light. I don't think this is going to work though because it's full clay or real clay, so it's probably going to not quite work. But it has cracks and crevices, and the back has a big window. And then I'm trying to put holes throughout to look like little pinpricks of light. That has not really worked. And the biggest problem is that I have to fire it because it's real clay. Otherwise, if it gets wet, it's going to break. This right here is a patch of mold. So if it gets wet, it's going to break. Whereas I'm pretty sure air dry clay won't. So I'll just put this one off to the side for now. I guess I have to fire the kiln for the kids' stuff at work, so I could technically try it and just see how that goes. But I'm scared because I worked on this for hours, you know, so hours of hard work. It's not really fun to put it down the drain for science, I guess. Not really for science. That was a mistake. Why did I do that? That was really dumb. I just brushed clay dust all over my office. The controls are backwards on this. Okay. So I am actually going to make some things. My chat is not connecting for some reason. Let me reload that. Okay, I think my Twitch chat is just broken. Good. Love that. Love that for me. I really want to connect TikTok to my Restream because then I could just use my phone for my face cam and have everything go there. Alright, air dry clay. Not my favorite medium, but pretty good nonetheless. Oh, it's been a while since I've used clay. So I do not have a full-size rolling pin currently out or in here. It's out in my shed, so I'm gonna make do with this tiny little one. But that's fine, because we're making miniature things, because that's what I do. I also have not figured out how I want to do small details. So like on the fairy house, this broke off, this little top for this well, and my little mushroom mailbox broke off. So I'm not really sure how I want to do details like that. I'm just now realizing that this board that I'm using was definitely a board I used for real clay, and I hope that doesn't cause any problems. Okay, so the first step is to make the walls. Oh, okay, my chat is now working. Sorry if anyone was trying to send me a message on Twitch or YouTube. My chat was not working for some reason, which is not ideal. Where is my cutting knife? I'll just use this. So normally I would like have a pattern and use it to cut out the clay. But I don't want to do that. I just want to make art, so. Did I not bring my water in here? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna try to make these pieces as even as I can. So I'm gonna cut it in a big square first. That's not even. This is why we measure, friends. Can you tell I'm an elementary art teacher because I just called you friends? Oh my gosh, the amount of times I say the word friends in a day is crazy. That's a pretty decent square if I do say so myself. I'm gonna need a cup of water, and I can't use that one because it has real clay in it. I guess it doesn't matter if it's super even. I have to make a mushroom one. Oh, maybe I want to make a mushroom one. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna cut it this way then. Because then I can make it go around like this. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get some water. I did not plan this out very well. I just kind of decided on a whim that this is what I wanted to do today. Ah, the life and brain of an artist. So I'm gonna have to go and I think I might have to just dump that clay. I guess I could just put it in a bag, huh? Oh, but I'm kind of scared because there are mold spores in here. That's what's kind of dangerous about clay is you're dealing with a lot of mold, which can be a little bit concerning. Technically, you should wear some sort of mask. Do I? No. Have I? Yes, I have previously worn masks when working on clay. I'll be right back. Gotta rinse this bad boy out. I love the fact that it's still light out right now. And it's like, oh, I don't have my watch on. It's 6:40 and it's still light out. Okay, so I decided I'm just going to use a bowl of water instead of my little mason jar of slip. Apologize for that. My hands are very wet now. This is a chaos stream, apparently. Me and my husband make a joke when I say, oh, I'm going to go stream. We say scream instead of stream. And then we just scream at each other. That is my chaos. I came across a little compilation of Lola Bunny from the newer show, Looney Tunes show. And oh my gosh, I was like, she's my spirit animal. There was this one where she was trying to find her ringing phone in her purse and she pulls out like 50 things before she gets to it. And then she just answers the phone. Well, okay, that part is not accurate. I would not answer the phone like that. Me answer a phone call? No. In fact, I need to call someone back. I made a call to my therapist. And then they've called me back like 5 times. I haven't answered them. I mean, granted, they call me during the workday, so there's not a ton I could do. Is my husband home? He'd be really early if he was. I don't think it's him. Anyway, not that it matters. What was I saying? I'm pretty sure there was an exact scene in the compilation that went just like that. Anyway. No cats on the cat cam yet today, huh? I don't understand why they haven't been coming in. They love that spot. I guess they're just shy. So when I'm connecting pieces, I score them with a toothbrush. And it's really funny when I tell my students, who are elementary school students, when I tell them to score their clay like that, they're like, what? We brush the clay like it's teeth. They think it's the weirdest thing, but it works. It works really well, honestly. I've never had, well, okay. I hardly ever have students' work fall apart before the kiln. Like, I have 500 students. 2 or 3 have maybe fallen apart this year. That's a really great number because the first time I did it, so many of their art pieces fell apart. I've also never had a piece of art explode. Except for when I was student teaching, but I also wasn't controlling the kiln at that point. I am a firm believer in letting the kiln candle, which means you fire it at a lower temperature below boiling point. And then when you do that, all the water evaporates all the way. Because it's not the air pockets that cause the clay to explode. It's actually water that gets trapped in the air pockets. So yeah. So I'm making the base for my mushroom house right now, and yes, it will be a fairy house. I'm making it cylindrical, and then I'll kind of pinch it. Actually, I'm starting to pinch it now, because I'm going to round it out a little bit. Honestly, these walls are kind of thin. Makes me a little nervous. I don't want to listen to this. Thank you. I could have just told the robot lady to skip. I didn't want to say her name because then she'll listen to me and then say, sorry, I didn't catch that. Robot lady. Maybe I should try the Oh, wait, no, it won't let me do. Oh, I did not mean to. Well, I hope my live doesn't close. I'm sorry if it does. Okay, good. Okay, I guess I can't track objects through TikTok Live. I can do it on their app, but that's okay. So then I like to just kind of pat it to shape it a little more. I should probably let it dry a tiny bit before I shape it too much. But this is going to be the base for the mushroom. Then I'll make a pinch pot. Actually, I should make the base. Then I'll make the pinch pot. Should I make it on like a little mound? Oh, I could make it on a log. My camera's gonna die. No, I charged you. It's gonna die. And my hands are covered in clay. Well, I might have to forego Twitch. But I mean, hey, I almost made it the whole time. So I'll just go until my camera dies. And then... Ah, there it is. Wait. Oh, is it... Has it been doing that, and did I just not realize it's been, like, turning off and on? Oh my gosh. This is why I need to get my battery pack replaced. Okay, it needs to be much thicker than this. What am I thinking? So sometimes if my clay dries out too much, I just dip my hands in some water. I recently confused my students because we had made clay projects and then we were using modeling clay. And modeling clay, to make it like more moldable, you have to play with it. Like the more you use it, the more moldable it is. And they were getting really confused by that. They were like, can I add water to this? No, do not add water to it. It won't work. So, I mean, it's not like they would break it, but still. Okay, so we're going to make a little mushroom house on top of a log. It needs to be much bigger than that. Dang it. This is turning out to be bigger than I thought it would be. I really thought I charged my camera enough, but this is why I should plug it in as soon as I'm done. Sorry. It's gonna be kind of loud. This tiny little rolling pin is pitiful. I've been seeing this guy on, I think, TikTok making stuff out of air dry clay. And I think he said, like, in one of his videos, he's not an artist. And I was like, bro, you just made an Oreo cookie container for jewelry out of air dry clay. What do you mean you're not an artist? That's the definition of what artists do. Random weird projects that turn out awesome. It was either that one or a different person making art that was like, I'm not an artist, but the definition of an artist is a person who makes art. Just saying, if you make art, you're an artist. And that's what I tell my students. Okay, so we'll make the log kind of sticking out of some water, maybe. Oh, there it goes again. I think it's dead for good. Not for good, but for now. I actually am procrastinating doing some work, which I think is valid because I am not on the clock, you know? Teachers are expected to do so much outside of their contract hours. It's crazy. Alright, so here's the basic shape of the log. Then the mushroom will go on top. We'll put some moss around it. I feel like I should put it at the top. As for Twitch, I'm going to have to say goodbye for today. Unless I do... Actually, well, I could just get rid of my face cam. Yeah. Let's do that. Who needs to see my ugly mug anyway? I'm just kidding. So let's do webcam. Maybe. Why is browser on there? Yes. I forget how to do anything. Video capture device. CatCam. CatCam 2. Did that work? Where is it? What's happening? Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I feel so dumb. It was behind. Aha! I figured it out. Just gonna make it bigger. That's fine. There we go. Okay, that's gonna have to do for now. Anyway, so you can at least see what I'm doing. Might not be the highest quality, but that's fine. Oh, thanks for liking the live. Sorry, I was trying to fix my Twitch. I appreciate it. I was just rambling to myself for a little bit there. So I'm making a little fairy house on a log. I was not planning to make it on top of a log, but here we are. And I was also not planning to use up all that clay so quickly. This is definitely the starting point. This is not anything special, but to start with. But that is what we have to do, is start from somewhere, right? Actually, something I tell my students all the time. And I've been really making sure they remember recently, is something, wow, I'm just rambling, oh my gosh. I say work through the weird a lot because a lot of times art is going to look super weird before it doesn't, you know what I mean? And some art will still look weird, and that's the point, you know? So it's nice to see students kind of go along with that and understand what it means to work through the weird. It just means to push through to the end. I still have students that give up, which is really sad when they do. I had a student get really sad today. He was painting a shark drawing, I guess. So he did a shark drawing first with 3 sharks. He loves sharks. And he worked really, really hard on it, and he did really well. It was a kindergartner. So he drew three sharks with the water line above them. And then he started painting it, and he messed up because the paintbrush was too big. And he got so upset, and I was like, it's okay, we can restart it. And he did. He was a champ about it. A lot of times kids freak out even if they have to restart something. But he had been originally thinking like he just couldn't do it anymore. I was like, oh, no, let's get the picture. You can look at the picture you did, and you can make it again. And it turned out so much better the second time. I was like, it was almost worth it, you know? He might not have felt that way. But when time ran out, he got really, really upset. Understandably so. So I went over and I just started pointing out all the good things I saw. He added... yeah, grown-ups too, for real. He had added... So before it was just 3 sharks, and he had the water line, and that was pretty much it. But this time he had the water line, he had a surfer on a giant wave, and he made the sharks look so much nicer. They were really long and skinny in the first one, and in the second one they were a bit more realistic. And I was like, this is a kindergartner that did this? I was really impressed. He's also got some talent, like just inherent talent. I don't normally use the T word because I don't think a lot of it is talent, because a lot of it is just desire to learn and desire to build skill. But there are certain students who have like a predisposition to making art, you know? And it's okay to have that, and it's okay to not, because guess what? I probably know more artists who didn't have that predisposition, so-called, that make art more often and better than the ones who did. I know several people who... There was this kid in... I don't remember what grade. I think it was like 4th grade. He could draw people so well in 4th grade. They looked very accurate. And as far as I know, he does not make art anymore. And I would argue that I wasn't... I don't know, people would argue against this, but I don't think I was all that good when I was younger. I think... Sorry, I forgot to close my clay. I think I grew my talent, so-called, quote-unquote talent, through skill. It wasn't that I had talent, it was that I wanted to do it. And so I sat down 2 hours a day and made art, you know? That's what makes an artist. That's what makes talent. It's not what you're born with, it's what you do with your time. So, anyway, it's really nice to see even kindergartners, like, resilient to struggle. Okay, we gotta close up this seam here. I'm gonna have to carve this part out. Because I want to make it kind of pointy on this end. Oh my gosh, should I put a little frog on this too? Oh my goodness. I need to calm down. I'm so excited. Why do I not sculpt more often? I love it so much. I mean, I know why, because I'm a teacher and I have no time, and also, when I do have time, I do art that's less messy because I don't have time. So why would I make really messy art that I have to clean up? Because it's fun. I need to remember that. So I'm super excited about this new tripod I got. I was talking about it earlier. I'm not utilizing the full features right now because I'm not showing my face on TikTok, but I'm using it for TikTok right now, and it's this cool tripod that follows your face when you move around. It's funny that I got it because I don't necessarily always show my face. I do on Twitch, so I guess I could try to stream my face cam portion off of my phone. I know I can do it with my iPad, so I bet I can do it with my phone too. I just haven't tried yet. All right, does this look like a log? It looks like what's it called? A cannoli. It looks like a cannoli on a plate. But I want to make it look like this is water, so I'm gonna have to expand it out. Did not think I was gonna use this much clay. I need to make my pinch pot so that it can dry a bit. I don't handle clay projects very carefully, I'm realizing. I feel like I'm speeding through this. It's probably because I know I don't have a ton of time. Just gonna leave that bag open for now. This air dry clay is awesome. It's very much like real clay, but it's pretty sturdy once it's dry. I haven't tried painting it yet. I still need to do that, but it's pretty good. So I'm gonna make a pinch pot for the mushroom top, and then I'll have to make what are the parts under a mushroom? What is that called? Like the underneath of the mushroom cap. Like I know the mushroom cap is the whole top, but I don't know what that's called. So making a pinch pot, my favorite way to do it is to make a ball. Oh my gosh, this is the funniest thing when I teach my kindergartners. They love it so much. So you make a ball, then you take your thumb and you press it into the ball. Sometimes it's really hard for them to do this, but you want to press it in until it sticks on your thumb like this to make a lollipop. And then I have them all hold up their lollipops. And then they make an alligator hand like this. And then they pinch and they turn. Pinch and turn. Pinch and turn. I want to make a video for this because I think it's super cute and super helpful. Once they start getting it a little bit more, they can like go like this with their finger. And it's a little bit easier to pinch. Of course I have a cut under my nail. That's the worst. And I normally don't like students putting water on their clay, but here I am doing that. Mainly because they end up adding way too much water and then it's just mush. And it can't really do much, you know? I think that's big enough. It looks like a lamp. I don't want it to look like a lamp. So I'm thinking I'll add a window in the cap part. Actually, I could show you guys this super tiny one that I've made. No! Dang it. I dropped a little frog. Actually, if you're watching on TikTok, I'm going to be posting in the next few days these little videos showing all the miniatures I've made. But this is one of them. Tiny little fairy house. So I could kind of model it off of that. I guess then the cap is big enough. I think the stem is the problem. It needs to be thinner on the top. I also think I need to add some more clay on the inside. I don't think it's thick enough. I definitely feel like it's not going to hold up the cap part. Ouch. Oh my gosh, it's 7:10 already. I still have work to do. I'm taking a class for my job. And it's been fine, but it's also like overcomplicated, I feel like, because I teach elementary. But it feels like they're making it really complicated for no reason. Which is a little annoying. But what you gonna do? I need to put some more water in this. I guess I could just dump my water cup in here when I'm done for today. Oh, some of the clay is really, really soft and then some of it is not. But this is perfect for what I want to do, which is put more clay inside of the mushroom stem. It's a stem, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Ooh, I could get some moss. Yeah, why don't I do that? I could just glue fake moss on the outside too. Although I would probably want to seal it because it'd probably be a pain to dust. Okay, now I have to reshape it because I messed it all up. Maybe I like this better. Maybe. Maybe I'm gonna be super critical of myself. Haha. I'm kind of disappointed in myself a little bit. I was teaching 5th grade today, and this class has been especially difficult. There's a lot of boys in the class that stress me out because they just goof around. And it's frustrating, especially because they show a desire to make art, like drawing especially, they're all constantly doodling. So when they're not engaging in art, I'm like, what? You like art, but you don't want to participate. Okay. And I teach choice-based art, so they have literally no excuse because they can just make whatever they want, but they have not done so, you know. So there's been some struggle with that. But I was like, they're not going to enjoy this project. I have to introduce something called the Design and Ad contest, I guess. It's a contest that's always been in my town for a long time now. And they have to draw an ad for a local business. And then they can potentially get chosen by the business to have their ad used to actually advertise and everything. And I was like, they're not going to want to do it. It's ink drawing, so it really strikes me as something that, like, a good portion of the class wouldn't want to do. But I was shocked today because all of them were so excited about it. And I was like, well, you guys proved me wrong, I guess. Sometimes you need to be proven wrong. I'm just hoping that doesn't mean that the 5th grade class that I thought would love it isn't going to love it. I hope that's not the case. That would make me sad. Then again, the class that I'm thinking will love it, they're also really enjoying choice-based projects because they have been making the coolest stuff. There's this one kid making like a fairy forest. So kind of like the same vibes as I have, right? And she's making like a forest to go along with a little house. And she's making little stuff to go inside the house. Like, it's super cute. So I'm almost wondering if they won't want to do it because they want to work on their projects, but they have until they're done to finish their projects. So they have, like, all the time in the world. Well, okay, no, they have until the end of the school year because I need to put some of their art in the art show. But other than that, they seriously could just spend forever on it. I have a student making a car out of cardboard. Actually, speaking of which, I need to bring some foam core with me. Because I think that would make his life a little easier with that. Because right now he's like sanding cardboard, trying to cut it with scissors because he's in 5th grade and I can't have him using an X-Acto knife. I think he'd have an easier time with the foam core. Because at the very least, you can cut it with scissors. Is my connection okay? I think my connection on TikTok is bad. I looked up and I cut into the side of my mushroom. Oh well. So I might have to stop soon because I'm going to have to let this stuff firm up a little bit so that it doesn't fall apart when I sculpt it, like this right here. Oh my goodness. But I have to do a little bit on this because I have to pinch it together and press in the middle. Oh no, it says good connection, but it says no connection on my dashboard there. Okay, mushroom cap. goes on top of stem. But it won't be this flat on the bottom because I'm going to kind of punch it in a little bit. I have to be careful though because this is what we call a clay balloon. It's a sealed form with air inside. So I don't want to press too hard because it will puncture it, and then it's going to cause the air to come out of some other spot. But I want it to create a sort of like ridge outward, if that makes sense. Like it's going to start pushing back out because the air has to go somewhere. Verify to continue. What? It said it detected inactivity during my live? What? I'm here. I bet it's just because it had bad connection. Maybe it is really bad connection and it's just not working right. Who knows? Okay, so I'm kind of curving up the edges of the mushroom now. And I think I'm going to add some of the ridges now too, since it's kind of wet enough to do that. So that is going to be done by making little lines and then smoothing it out to make it kind of bump into the middle. But it's tough because every time I press, the bubble of air will go somewhere else. Maybe I should go make all the ridges first. If you're just jumping in or just dropping in, I'm making a fairy house, a mushroom fairy house. I feel like I just got really tired all of a sudden. Anybody else? Just me? Oh yeah, it's because it's almost 7:30. I'm so old. Gotta go to bed at 7:30. Just kidding. I go to bed at like 9:30. I know, such a big difference, right? I wake up at 5 a.m. Which to some people that's not early at all. Because there's jobs where like you're getting to work at 4:30. Maybe I should let this dry a little bit. Then maybe it wouldn't change where the bubble is too much. Okay, yeah, I think I need to let this firm up a little bit. I like the sound it makes though. It's like a little drum. I don't know if you can hear this. It's because it's hollow. Oh, cute. Look at our little mushroom house. I love it. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the log now that that has had time to firm up a tiny bit. And I'm going to make the part that sticks off here. And how are we going to do that? By randomly putting pieces on, because that's how I roll. So I like to block out pieces first. And then I hope that I like where they're at, and once I think I do, I stick them on. I know. Such a refined method. So I may cut into this more as well. But we'll see. So I'm trying to make it kind of pointy, but not quite. Like maybe it's jagged, something broke it off of another, or of a tree. I'm creating a story for my log, you guys. I kind of do that though. Oh, and then I could add like a little stump piece here. Again, I say I have a very specific technique for this. Very professional. So the only thing though, if I'm gonna add a little branch sort of thing, I'm gonna want it to be hollow. Which I can do that like so. And then I can cut off the bottom of this at an angle. I don't know where my fettling knife went. I think I had it out here, but I might have taken it back out to my shed, I guess. I've got a pottery studio in my shed. And by pottery studio, I mean it's a tiny room and I have a pottery wheel. I just haven't been out in a while. It's tough when the weather is cold because it's really cold in there. It's insulated, but it doesn't retain heat that well. Like, it'll retain it a little bit, but hardly enough. Okay, so if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna need to use a needle tool and mark out where it is, so I can cut it all the way in. Then when I put lights in here, you'll be able to see. And yes, I will also be putting lights in the actual house part. Where did my needle tool go? I just had it over here. I was literally just using it. Aha, I found it. It was hiding. So I'm going to mark on the inside. And then I'll cut it out with my needle tool. I just got way ahead of myself there. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. I totally like sliced into the side. That's fine, right? That's normal. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. So now we can scratch. And yes, if you have not seen me use it before, I do use a toothbrush to score and slip my clay. I switched over after I started using it with my students, because I just realized it removes a whole step. Like, normally I would use a needle tool and scratch up the surface and then have to use like a paintbrush or my fingers. It's so much easier. You just dip the toothbrush in water and then it's good to use. Like, it's just good to go. That's so much easier. because it holds on to the clay too. So you don't even have to make slip because it makes slip itself when it scratches the clay. It's a wonderful little trick that I've learned. So I'll probably be working on this for a while now, in my lives. I really do want to start going live on Saturdays. I feel like I've said this the last few weeks, but I'm working on making a sign for a business in the town I live in. So I have not been able to make time for lives on Saturdays because that's when I do that. But I realistically could just make time another time. It just means giving up something else, you know? Alright, I'm gonna make a few more jagged edges for my clay. My log, I mean. Maybe like this. But I do also need to make the rest of the water, because I don't want the water part to dry and then me have to try to add some. The water is the stuff around the log. I feel like it's looking like a log. Whoa, crazy. It's almost like that's what I'm making. My students are kind of sassy like that too. Oh my gosh, they give me so much sass. But honestly, it's hilarious. I had a kindergartner today. I was making a panda bear. I made a few animals for them to choose from. We were making black and white animals, so we had to choose a black and white animal, and then we could make it however we wanted. Well, I was working on it, and I was at a table with some kids, because I like to go from table to work with them, so that I can kind of participate in their discussion and direct it a little bit if I need to, encourage learning, like further learning. But one of the kids mentioned, like, whoa, whose panda is that? And I was like, oh, that one's mine, because I had walked away for a minute. And they're like, wow, that's so good. And this other kid goes, well, yeah, she's our art teacher. It better be good. I was like, oh my gosh. It was the sassiest thing I've heard, but it was so funny. Kids are hilarious. They can be stinkers, yes, but they are really funny. I'm never bored. I also found out one of my students moved away, which I feel like they never tell us. Like, I only see them once a week, and I'm just like, surprise, this isn't your student anymore. I'm like, okay, all right, sure. Good to know. But it also kind of makes me sad, especially when like the good quiet kids leave, which is the one that left this time. It was a kindergartner. So the students told me, because I was like, oh, where's this student? And they were like, oh, he moved away. And I was like, oh, that's really sad. And this one girl goes, it's okay because he's still in my heart. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was the sweetest thing. Those kids can be stinkers, but they can be really sweet too. They really can. I feel like it's kind of crazy how many kids move around during the year. Like, I understand if, like, there's been a job relocation, but I wouldn't move my kid from a school in the middle of the year. I'd stick it out where I was. Then again, I don't know the circumstances. It just creates a lot of, like, struggle for the kids. So, I just think it's better to try to keep them where they are. Anyway. I've heard kids say a lot of really weird stuff, though. Weirdly enough, I can't remember a lot from the current job I have. I think they're more tame here than they were at the old school I taught at, which is ironic because it's like a Title I school that I teach at right now. But I had a kid come up to me, a first grader. He came up to me and was like, if your husband dies, you'll have to live alone. And I was just like, I guess you're not wrong, but I don't love that you're saying that. And so I just kind of brushed it off, right? But kids do this fun thing where they're like, you know, if they don't feel like you listened to them, if they don't feel heard by you, they'll just keep bringing it up. So the kid was like, Mrs. Church, I don't know if you heard me, but I just said, if your husband dies, you'll have to live alone. And I was like, yep, I did hear you. I really did. I promise. I just didn't know what to say. So he just kept bringing it up, so I ended up having to say, that hurts my heart when you say that, which is a total art teacher, elementary art teacher thing to say. And it was the only thing that got him to stop repeating about just, I don't know. It was an interesting day. Oh, it's 7:36. When did that happen? Time got away from me. Apologies to anyone watching on YouTube or Twitch. My face cam is now my work cam because my regular camera died. I used to have a battery that you could just plug in and leave, but it broke. So I have to use a normal camera battery, and I don't have a replacement one, and I forgot to charge it. So I made it about 20 minutes into the stream, and then it died. Exciting. I also realized that my title is not what I'm doing, but I also have hands covered in clay, so I couldn't really change it. I just kind of left it. Oh well. And I'm currently making a little mushroom house that's gonna sit on a log. I feel like the house is a little too big though. After I did all the sculpting. I guess I could use these as two separate pieces. That is true, I could do that. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. It's too late, you guys. It's literally not even 8 o'clock. I used to just easily stay up all night working on art. You couldn't make me do it with anything else, though. Like, I couldn't stay up all night with other things. I mean, sometimes I can still when I'm playing games with people and, like, actively hanging out with people. But not as much as I used to. It may seem kind of silly that I'm putting on pieces and then immediately cutting them off, but I am trying to shape a base that's a little better. So there's method to my madness. And yes, it is madness. I really can't wait until summer. I'm so excited to have more time to create content again. I feel like I'm finally getting settled in my career that I can actually do that. I really enjoyed making videos, but I stopped around the time I got married because weddings are stressful to plan and actually put on. So I just never got back into it. Well, okay, I tried to, but I didn't have the time. Because I was actually student teaching when I got married. Which was interesting because, like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but student teaching, you're not allowed to take time off. You can get away with having 2 sick days. 2 sick days. So just, God forbid that you get deathly sick. And this was right after COVID, by the way. So we had a few student teachers who actually got COVID, and they almost didn't qualify because of the timing. I think one of them actually had to student teach another semester, which was just super unfair to them. Hello, everybody. It was super unfair to them because you can't really control it, and one of them was just like asymptomatic, so they weren't even sick. So that one, the student teacher just tuned in online and planned lessons online. Thanks for liking the live. Oh, wow. Thank you. So it was really unfair to them that they just were like, yeah, sorry, that doesn't count. You have to redo it. Seems like a lot of stupidness, if you ask me. Again, can you tell I'm an art teacher, an elementary art teacher? Because I've been saying goodness gravy a lot. Oh my gosh, we're up to almost 400 likes. Thanks. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I appreciate it. I've been saying goodness gravy a lot and stuff like that. I've noticed a lot of my expletives have to do with food. Like fudge. Goodness gravy. Oh, I can't even remember any of them right now. But I think it's kind of funny how a lot of them have to do with food. Oh my gosh. Almost at 700. Thank you, Dark Sky. Oh my goodness. I do that too. Sometimes I drop into lives and I just constantly just hit it and like it a billion times. Oh my goodness. Will we make it to 1,000? I think we will. Wow. And hey, there's more people coming in too. Thank you for joining. I keep bumping this part. It's not very secure. I think it's because it's still wet. 1,000! Yay! Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a new mushroom though. This is way too big. It's like crushing it a little bit. So I think I'm gonna make a smaller one and use this for a different fairy house. It's a lot bigger than I tend to make them anyway. I don't know why I did it that way. It will. So I'm just gonna throw together a new one real quick. I really need to wrap up though because I do still have work to do. Not gonna lie, I'm procrastinating that. I don't want to do it. Because, you know, it's almost 8 o'clock at night and I shouldn't have to do work at 8 o'clock at night when I work at 8 in the morning. It's fine. I'm just complaining. Anyway. New topic. I love making fairy houses. There's my new topic. I'm thinking I might see about putting string lights in this one. Like little actual fairy lights. Or maybe gluing it around the outside and putting moss on top to make it look like fireflies. But I need to find like a short strand. I could probably find some at the dollar store. But I don't want to use shoddy, cheap materials, you know? So I might have to figure out a slightly different way. Or maybe I can find some at Hobby Lobby. Because we have a Hobby Lobby now. And I love going there. I have a bunch of miniature sets of stuff. I have a few more TikToks that I recorded of like a magic bookstore that I made. And I'm going to post those the next few days. But I'm almost out of that content. So I'm thinking I've got a few more things kind of in the works too. I'm going to show off some of my miniatures. I make these little tiny frogs. It took me a long time to realize that, like, I kind of do have a theme that I follow. Because, you know, a lot of artists have, like, a theme they follow. Mine is, like, fairy, nature, bees, stuff like that, you know? And I don't know why I, like, didn't notice that for the longest time. Thank you for continuing to like the live. I really appreciate it. 1.5 thousand likes. Thanks. But I like fantasy stuff, you know? It's just because I want to escape reality. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. I am going to have to go in about 14 minutes. Just so you all know. This is definitely later than I normally go. Kitty, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. What? What is it? Can you guys hear her meowing? You can't come over here. I have clay. You're not allowed. She wants to come over and see what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm struggling to shape this as much. Or, again, a second time. Man, you're gonna get us to 2,000 likes. Okay, so I think I need to make one end a little rounder. I think this is too thin again, though. Trying to make it kind of bulbous at the bottom and then thinner at the top. I think that looks good. So this is the little mushroom stem, I think. Maybe I should look up the parts of a mushroom. I'm realizing though, oh no, I can carve it out. I was like, how am I going to make the door and stuff if I'm sticking this on right now? But I can do that just fine. I'm thinking I will have to make the mushroom top another time. Considering I have 10 minutes till I absolutely need to end this stream. I'm excited for this. It's going to be really cute. Are you watching me, kitty? What? What? Are you hungry? Sorry, I'm talking to my fur baby kitty. I think she's hungry. On Twitch, I normally have a cat cam, but they haven't really been sitting in the spot where the cat cam is. They haven't really been sitting with me while I'm working, and I'm confused as to why, because normally they're always sitting with me. Like, I normally cannot escape my cats. They just follow me from room to room. If I close any of the doors, they're so mad at me. And then they claw at the door and, like, break the door down. It's okay. It'll get me ready for, like, momhood when I have toddlers that do the same thing. They're gonna, like, team up when I have kids. The kids and the pets are gonna team up. I have 2 cats. Ariel and Alice. They're Disney names. I used to have a 3rd cat. There's a black cat named Captain Jack Sparrow, and yes, I sometimes called him by that, but normally I just called him Jack. But they're about, I think I got them in 2015. Oh my gosh, so they're like 9? What the heck? Kitties, you're old. I'm just kidding, you're not old. Oh, here's the other one. Yeah, I love them so much. They're so sweet. And one of my cats, Ariel, is a little bit bigger than Alice, so I call her Chunky. Not in like a mean way, but like she's fat, you know. So I call her Chunky. And then the other one, this name is a little less cute, but I love it. I call Alice Stinky. I have good reason because she gets like really stinky breath. I think she used to have like dental problems. She might still. Sometimes she goes up to things. This is so weird. She goes up to something and chews next to it. She doesn't actually chew it. Like wires, she'll go up next to wires and just chew next to it. She makes an actual chewing sound, and it sounds like she's 2 seconds away from electrocuting herself. But she's not biting anything. She's just chewing the air next to the object. It's the weirdest thing. Me and my husband call it crunching, because it literally sounds like she's crunching at the wires. So it's kind of funny. Sometimes I'm worried that it's like a problem though. Like maybe her teeth hurt and so she crunches. next to things, but that doesn't make sense. Like, how would that help her dental pain, you know? So I don't think that's it, but I guess you never know. Is this looking like a log with a little mushroom stem on it? I'm not going to make the mushroom cap until next time, though. Like I said. But I should carve out the inside of this because I want it to be open all the way through. Because then I could even string the fairy lights inside if I so desired. I'm being very graceful about this. I'm just stabbing the clay. Professional technique. I just tried to pick it up from the side that has not dried at all. Very graceful. Hey, I got it out, right? That's all that matters. Where are all of my tools? I don't understand. I probably just took things out and forgot. Sounds like a me thing to do. I'm like stuck between highly organized and not organized at all. If you look at parts of my office, it's like insanely organized, and if you look at other parts of my office, it's kind of crazy. Like my floor right now has stuff all over it. Is that something that I could potentially live stream, is organizing my office? I feel like that could get really boring, but I don't know. So next time I'll do a lot of refining of the shapes that I've created. I won't add texture to the log until it has dried quite a bit. Like this right now, it's still wiggly here. I'm gonna wait until I can like touch it and it won't bend, because otherwise I risk breaking it. I'm gonna add like water details, probably some plants. And I'm going to glue some moss down once it's all the way dry. Am I going to add detail into the stump? Yes. Yeah, I think I'm going to sculpt it all. But I'm realizing now I might not have made it thick enough, so I might have to actually add a bit on. I just don't have time right now to do it. So I'll probably do that next Tuesday, unless I decide to go live on Saturday. But I don't know, because I have some things going on. I don't know, Kitty, what do you think? What do you think? She's just staring at me. She's not saying anything. She just wants me to feed her. She doesn't care. She's like, I don't care about your log, Mom. Just feed me. Be patient. She looks so offended. Oh, dust everywhere. Lovely. Okay, so now comes the process of wrapping things up. I got a lot more done than I thought I would, honestly. This is pretty good, considering I haven't done a lot of sculpting in a while. Very impressive. Oh, you know what? I just realized I kind of have to do the ridges on this if I am going to do it at all. Unless I want to just build them up, but That takes more work. I'd rather carve them into a clay balloon. So I don't know if you missed what I had said a while back, but a clay balloon is when you make an enclosed space with clay and you trap air inside, so it creates essentially a balloon. So you can change the shape of the outside of the clay without affecting the volume. Kitty, you're not supposed to be over here, ma'am. Ma'am. Can I help you? There's no food over here for you. Here. Kitty. Say hi. Hi. There's a kitty. Oh, don't chew on my stuff. No, that's bad for you, kitty. Don't chew on it. She chews on my paintbrushes. Or I should say chews next to my paintbrushes. Where are you going? There's no room for you there. I love this tripod so much. It's so easy to move it. Kitty, I apologize for any sounds you're hearing. She's rubbing her face against my phone. Kitty, stop it. You're such a goofball. They like to hop up on my desk. Which is why I set up a little seat for them, but that wasn't good enough for them. They needed to be in the way. That is the way of the cat. Okay, so to wrap this up, I have to wrap underneath as well, because I might want it to dry a tiny bit, but I do not want it to dry a lot. And if the bottom dries way faster than everything else, then that is a problem. So I like to wrap it tightly underneath and then kind of loosely wrap it over top, because then it has the chance to kind of firm up a tiny bit without drying out all the way. That should be good. Then I can wrap up the mushroom over here. But there can be a problem if you wrap it up too much and then it gets extra moisture. Not extra moisture, but the same moisture again, I guess. It comes out of the clay and sticks to the plastic. So yeah. There we go. My hands are very dirty. It is definitely time for me to be done. So I'm going to head out and I will be live again definitely next Tuesday. Yeah. Great ending. I'm going to stop on Twitch first, so if you're on TikTok, I'll still